how do we start this thing?
We're back!
Have you done this before? I've never done this before.
Oh, this feels so familiar. It's so good to be back.
Welcome back to the Egg Timer Hour. Back to our first show on our new radio station, WP3W No Restrictions Radio. We play what we want. There's three W's. That's what explains the name. WP3. There's three. What we
Three
want.
W's.
Yeah.
What we want. Three W's.
So we couldn't be more happy to be with you this evening. Thank you for tuning in. If you tuned in, wherever you may be, this is Brandon V with my good friend and comrade
Sugar Dave.
Sugar Dave. For he's sweet. That's why he's sugar.
Oh, I'm blushing.
So we are in a band of two, David and I. It's called Mind Like Me. And this is our show, the Egg Timer Hour.
And we're from Ashland, Kentucky.
Yeah, Ashlanders. We don't work in the mines, or there are no mines here.
No. There's a lot of steel
There's
plants.
oil.
Steel plants, oil plants.
Steel plants are closing down.
That's true.
But we're not here to be a downer. We're here to have a good time and play music for y'all. But as I said, we are in a band called Mind Like Me. It's just David and I. So we basically play all the instruments. So
and
it seems like a band.
Moldy basement.
Moldy basements are where creative surprises happen. I can't say creative genius because I don't know if this crap's genius or not.
No, it's definitely not.
They're always surprises.
It's fun, and we like it.
So maybe we'll play some of that for you. Sometimes we'll play some playlists. Sometimes we'll have some people on and just talk for a little while.
Basically, we're going to do whatever we want.
Just like the radio station says.
No rules.
We don't like rules. We have oppositional...
ODD.
Oppositional...
Defiant disorder. Oppositional
Don't
defiant
you
disorder.
ever tell me what to do.
Oh, God.
Never tell me what to do. So what do you want to do now, Dave? Do we want to play some music?
Well, we decided we were going to... Came on there, we were like, let's just talk about ourselves now that we've hit...
It's my favorite subject.
Now that we've hit the button, it's like, I think that about covers it.
Yeah.
Basement, Ashland.
No. We'll play some music. We haven't recorded a lot. We were in a band called Green Light from about... I was in that band from 2004 to 2007. It was a little bit older than that, maybe a year or two longer.
2003 or something like that.
Mm-hmm. So that band is now defunct. So years after that, David and I got together a couple years ago now.
Yeah, if not longer.
Finally made some time to get together and try and write some songs. And the first thing we came up with is a song called Meat, Vein, and Bones.
We sit right here in this basement and wrote it.
So yeah, probably in an evening, wrote the song out on acoustic guitar. And what's it about, David? David wrote most of the lyrics to this one.
I remember being inspired. I heard a line, and it was something about taking yourself seriously.
Yeah, it seemed like you had the chorus first
Yeah.
before anything.
And then I came up with the line.
Never take yourself too seriously.
Never take yourself too
and
seriously.
Never stray far from home.
Yep. And then I came here, and we've jotted down a bunch of
Yeah, we had that part, and then from there we came up with a verse.
words that rhyme.
Yeah.
What you aim for you folks that don't write songs.
Well, you can write about whatever you want, but that's always, never fails.
Oh yeah.
So this is a song that the first song that we ever tried to record this way, just the two of us. We're not a full band. We can't play drums, bass, guitar, and sing all at once. So basically, I think we just did this one to kind of prove to ourselves that we can write a song and record it, and who cares what it sounds like.
And we actually, there was a learning curve on that one. I think it seemed like it took forever to record, but we were learning as we were going.
Yeah. I think it went fairly quick. Seems like we started in October-ish recording it, and God, who knows when it was done. It's probably spring. It takes me forever. So without further ado, this is the first song we written and recorded by Mind Like Me called Meat, Vein, and Bones.
Enjoy.
Feel our years.
right, we're back. Like
Yep.
we said before the break, that was Meat, Vein, and Bones by yours truly.
Mine Like Me, written by David and myself, Brandon. Woo! Pat on the
Yep.
back. Way to go.
Just listen to it, bring back. That was a lot of fun. I
Yeah.
was so excited. And I remember we played Callahan's Songwriter Showcase or something.
Yeah, that came up a few months after that.
And we went and played Meat, Vein, and Bones, and people came up to us and said, we really like that song. And I'm
Yeah.
like, yes!
People are always pretty kind anyway.
Well, yeah. But I just remember thinking, like, because we were so self-conscious about it, because we'd never done anything like that.
Yeah, there's not too many songs that we've written and then gone right out and played for people.
Or recorded.
So, well, yeah,
'Cause
recorded.
when we recorded, it was at a studio.
Yeah.
And they told us exactly what to do. And
But I really like the little middle part in that song, the spoken word.
oh, yeah.
Where'd that come from?
I was sitting on my porch, and that's back when we first started getting back into songwriting, because there for years we didn't do anything in regards to music. And I was sitting on my porch, and I remember that line just came to me, the first line of that, and I wrote it down, and I kept scribbling, and it started reminding me of, there was a song on And Out Come the Wolves, Rancid did, and they had a spoken part, Junkie Man.
Junkie Man.
And it started sounding like that, and I just dug it, and I went with it.
That's awesome. It wasn't intentional, but the guitar part it sounds a little suspect, a little bit like Spin Doctors.
Oh, yeah. Your brother's like, that's a Spin Doctor song.
Dang it!
That
Confound it!
There is so much music in this world.
Yeah.
It's
a good thing you can't copyright
Yes.
chords.
it's a pretty safe
yeah.
bet that if you come up with a chord structure of 3 or 4 more chords, it's already been done at some
But
point.
to me, that's almost like stealing you steal like an artist. It's somewhat familiar, even though it wasn't like I set out to rip that off. Now the rhythm guitar part, I played exactly like down,
Can't Explain?
The Who song, Can't Explain. Yeah, I totally ripped that off. But you can't even tell because there's lots of other things going on.
Well, no, of course it's not conscious, because I remember when your brother said that, you called me
Yeah.
and was like, dude, you know what
he's
this is?
he's right.
We just ripped off the Spin Doctors.
Yeah.
Ugh.
If you're gonna do it from the
The mediocre.
Yeah. No, that record's great.
I did like the Spin Doctors, but they were.
They had the one good record, like
Yeah.
Common Tale. At least they had a good record. Good for those guys.
And I don't care who you are, if you're in this generation that we're in, 30s to 40s, whatever, you're lying if you said you didn't like it. One,
Yeah.
two, print this damn before you.
And in his head now, beep.
That was the jam.
Yes. Little Miss, Little Miss, Little Miss.
I forgot about that one too.
Well, they had
Can't
a few
Be
good
Wrong.
ones.
Yeah.
Jimmy Olsen Blues.
But it's one of those you listen to now and it comes on the radio. I'm like, ugh, and I turn it. But back
Well, it's
then,
because
I
it's so
loved it.
familiar. Yeah.
Yeah.
But so we're gonna move on to this would have been the next song that we recorded. It's called "Can I Kiss You," which I always thought that it's a little juvenile. You know, speaking of the 30s and 40s, kind of two guys singing about "Can I kiss you? Can I kiss you?"
Yeah.
But it just fit. It sounded right, and I don't know. I really like this song.
I wanted to call it Pointer Pimple Procedure.
pointer pimple procedure. Say that 5 times fast. Why did you want to call it that?
Because I remember when we wrote it, I was in the mind frame of a teenager looking in the mirror and just hating him,
Yeah.
hating seeing what's looking back at him.
And of course, the pointer pimple procedure is, your pointer fingers, your 2 index fingers, pointer,
Yeah.
popping a zit, as, this type of character might do.
It's pretty self-loathing if you listen to the lyrics. It's
Yeah.
I'm dumb and stupid and fat and ugly. Don't ever love me.
What, can I kiss you? I'm ugly, can I? Please.
Can I kiss you anyway, though? Please.
No, I really like this. This is another one that kind of, I think you'd written the music to it first.
I wrote the music and words, and I came here and he's like, I think it'd sound better if the words said this, so we totally redid it.
Yeah.
Remember?
The
Like,
verse
'cause I
parts.
came with a full song, and then
Mhm. And then I said, no, that sucks.
Yeah.
No, I would never say that sucks. That's the thing about songwriting. You can't go in and tell someone that this is bad, this isn't good. I think you can criticize without tearing down.
I think it was too obvious because I brought it. It's like, I'm stupid and dumb, I'm fat and stupid, You were like, let's reword this, but it worked out because I like the direction it went more than.
So this is what you played drums on this as well, and as well as Meat Vein and Bones. You played the drums on that and sang, and I played bass and guitar. And on this one, it's pretty much the same arrangement. You played drums and sang, bass and I got bass and guitar.
That's when I'll never forget it. That's when I first realized your recording process. So I remember sitting down here for 2 hours for you to go there.
I can do that better. Give me another one. One more time. I wasn't feeling it that one. It's not coming together for me.
I remember sitting down there. Wow, perfectionist.
It has to all come together. So that's what takes so long for these songs to come out, I guess.
Because a lot of times I'll record on my iPad and I just play it like
just throw it
that's
together.
good enough, man. But that's just to say, here's what I was thinking.
So without further ado, this is another Mind Like Me song called Can I Kiss You on WP3W.
We have arrived at the location we were at before the break.
Again. Do you people know how difficult it is to come back in from a song and not say, "We're back! Thanks for tuning back in. Here we are again."
Right before we came back, Brandon said, "Let's try not to say we're back." At the end,
yeah, what do you do?
He hit go, and I was like,
So you just heard Can I Kiss You by Mind Like Me, another one. So we're just going to keep talking about ourselves. Again, it's a favorite topic.
We're vain.
Yep, you're so vague. That's a Queen song. Queens of the Stone Age. So yeah, Can I Kiss You? That was one that came together pretty quick.
That was a fun one.
The way we record is not professionally. It is very much a DIY fashion. I've collected some gear over the years, as David has, and we've kind of thrown it together the best we can, microphones and putting things together. So the drums on the last two songs were basically, we just put one microphone in front of it high and another one low and just hope for the best.
That's before we had before we got that mix.
Yeah, we just had an M-Box Mini, just a little 2-channel Mini.
We could only have 2 microphones.
Yeah. So then we upgraded to we had more microphones. Oh, we
bought
got
the
we got a
board.
console. Digidesign Digi2 002. We're using ancient recording software from like what is it? Almost 10 years ago now.
Yep.
Maybe a little bit longer.
But it's all we can afford, so back off.
Yeah. So this next song was called Hannibal at the Gates.
Mm-hmm.
And this evolved from us getting together, playing cover songs and writing together as well. And this was one that was more or less a guitar exercise that it was just one of the first things I would play when I picked up a guitar, just I guess get me loose. Yeah. So it just kind of warmed me up, and David was like, "What is that? What is that thing?" And then the end part, the
Yeah.
that was another kind of just little riffy exercise thing.
Yep.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was. And I just watched The Postman the day that I came here. And
Oh yeah. Hannibal.
Hannibal is that? And he was talking about, and I was like, Hannibal at the Gate is such a great idea. What? I can't remember that guy's name. He's an awesome actor.
Oh, that says that in the. I don't
Yeah.
remember it. Is he the one that's in Remember the Titans too?
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
the coach. But yeah, he was. There was a scene in Postman, and it was real dramatic.
Yeah.
He said, Hannibal is at the gates. And I came over here, and I put that kind of my storage bank. Like, I got to write a song about Hannibal's at the gates.
Yeah. Well,
I remember you playing that.
It's a cool phrase, I think.
And it was the time frame when cops were just offing everybody.
That, and it was election time.
Yes.
And
And so that first line while Brandon was playing that came to me. We gave you that gun, not the right to kill, and it
that's very true.
flew.
It's a
We
true
wrote that
statement.
song in probably 5 minutes
Right.
from start to finish.
It was one where we were kind of like we played a songwriter showcase, and we didn't know if we wanted to play it or not because
You never know. It could have offended somebody horribly.
it's a little political, somewhat, I guess.
Well, I remember playing it at Callahan's and thinking, oh my
Yeah.
God, what if there's a cop here? He's going to think, I respect
Right.
police officers.
Absolutely respect police officers. But with that being said, I don't know. I try not to. We don't want to get too overtly
you
political.
remember,
In a way, we kind of make fun of people that get torn up over politics because it's just a divider. Don't let it divide you.
Oh, absolutely.
That's all that is about. So
I was raised in the don't talk about it.
don't talk about politics.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that or religion. You don't speak about that in
I remember
mixed company.
I never once in my lifetime growing up do I remember in my household being like, stupid Reagan, because you just didn't talk about politics.
Darn Ronald Reagan, he's at it again.
And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying my mother didn't have political views. Of course, there's people she
Right.
liked and people that was her opinion. She kept it to herself.
Right. That's how I prefer to keep,
Yeah.
some people like to go out and they're like, what do you think about this and that? And
Well,
I'd rather just not talk about it
I can't stand
with you.
that you're a moron because you believe differently than
Yeah.
I believe mentality.
because once you get about 25-ish, maybe even before then, you're pretty set in your ways. There's not going to be somebody
yeah.
come along and just be like, well, you think that? Well, let me show you. It just doesn't happen that
You're
way.
never going to, no one is ever going to say anything, or you're never going to say anything that someone goes, I never thought of it that way. I changed my mind.
Very rare.
It's not going
Yes.
to happen.
You got me. Touche.
That is a good point.
I will change my whole thinking.
If you don't believe me, ask my wife. She'll tell me, when I get proved wrong, I'm still like, no.
You're wrong.
It's usually, who was Mark Ruffalo in 13 going on 30? Or, well, no, he wasn't.
No.
She's right that he was. And I'm like, damn it.
She's good at that. So we digress. The song Hannibal at the Gates. Why don't we just play it and maybe we'll talk about it some more? Let's
Sounds
do
good
that.
to me.
Hannibal at the Gates.
Mine like me.
Ow.
You gave us a disease, now you're holding the pill.
Balls and wieners.
Balls and wieners. That's how we roll.
Did you hear that laugh? I sounded like the guy on Hanna-Barbera.
The little dog. What was he called?
Oh my God, what was he called?
I don't know.
I gotta find this out.
Grape Ape. It's not Grape Ape, but it's the same Hanna-Barbera
Okay,
family.
Google. Who was the dog in Hanna-Barbera?
Hanna-Barbera.
Hold, please hold with us, guys. Okay, Google.
Here's what I found on the web.
Who was
There are 5 Starbucks in your location.
Stop.
Who are you asking about?
Okay, Google. Who was the dog in the Hanna-Barbera cartoons that laughed?
How many dogs are this? Like, all of them.
Yeah, that's a horrible way to. I was like, laughed wistfully. How do you say that? Muttley. Oh my
Muttley,
God.
they found it.
Muttley. I sounded like Muttley. You came with us a long road to find out it was Muttley,
Yeah.
guys, and we apologize.
Way to go.
All because I went when I laughed. Anyway, that was Hannibal is at the gate. I think beforehand. we
Yeah, I said it
Hannibal's at
wrong.
the-
I always say it wrong.
Yeah.
Which way is it right?
But
I
that
don't
was
know.
another tune by us. And we hope you're digging our show. We figured our first show, we might as well make it about us. Kind
See-
of get our feet wet because we haven't done radio in what?
Well, and so you know where we're coming from. We want
Yeah,
to treat the listener right. You don't just want to jump in bed with a stranger.
exactly.
So,
I got to be wine to dine.
yep. So you see where we're heading. We want to get in.
Yeah, I
get
just
in
don't
that
want
bed
them to
with you.
think that every time we're just going to be like, hey, thanks for tuning in again. Let's talk about us
Right.
again. We are awesome.
No, we'll do some different things. But
My likes are long walks on the beach.
getting back to Hannibal, that was Jordan Ware playing drums on that. Another local musician.
Amazing
Amazing
local musician.
drummer.
He came down here.
Were you here when he did that? You were, weren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He came down here. Brandon played him the song,
Well, he listened to it for maybe a day
Yeah.
beforehand.
and he played it once, messed up, played it twice, nailed it. I was
Yeah.
like, good Lord, who is this guy?
Yeah. Just came together like that.
Amazing drummer.
So that was a fun one to do.
Well, maybe we should explain our recording process to him.
Well, we once we write the song, we will play it on acoustic guitar and just have one microphone set up, and David will sing it while I play it along. I'll usually have a metronome in my ear.
That's something that goes
Yeah, just a little. It's called a click track,
to keep you in time.
which some people use it, some people don't. We've always used it, but I'm starting to lean other ways. But I don't know. We'll see. Because sometimes it's good to capture a mistake. Mistakes aren't always a bad thing, despite my
Oh, absolutely. not.
perfectionist outlook.
Just like Led Zeppelin, you hear it in a couple of songs. You can hear his
It's
Speed King kick pedal on his drum wasn't oiled properly, and you hear in between.
But that's something. I mean, some people might hear that and not even know what it is.
And other people would hear it and be like, "Oh my!"
Yeah.
People that record it was probably like, "Oh my God,
How can you live with that?
you didn't WD-40 that."
Whatever. Anybody's gonna say to John Bonham, "How can you live with that?" For one, unfortunately, he's not with us, and he's awesome. For
Yes.
two,
I remember seeing the story when I was a kid. I think it was on PBS because we only had what broadcast without having cable, and I saw the story about the Rolls Royce.
oh, we drove it into the dealership.
He went in the dealership to buy one, and they apparently kind of look at this guy. He ain't got money.
Yeah, he can't afford one of
And
these.
he drove it. Did he drive it through the window?
That was the story I heard.
Yeah, and was like, "Don't ever disrespect me
Yeah,
again.
I
I'll
will
take it."
buy this place.
Yeah. He's a cool cat.
Absolutely, he is. So yeah, then once we record the song on acoustic and a vocal, that's our scratch track, and then we'll do the drums first because
Yep.
we want to have that good sound. That's your
Well, the drums is the
that's your foundation. Yeah, exactly.
If you ain't got a good drum track, you ain't got a good
Yep.
song.
Drums and bass first, and then everything else is kind of fun after that for me. The hard work is the drums and the bass, and I think we probably did that with maybe 4 or 5 microphones that time on the drums.
Yeah, I believe it's 4.
Yeah.
Then we've evolved to where we're at 6.
6 or 7 we can get in there. So yeah, it's fun to experiment, I think.
But yeah, Jordan did the drums, and you did the guitars, the bass, then the guitars. Then I sang it, and then
Poof.
it was
We
done.
actually had that one mastered, sent it off so it would sound quote unquote professional.
That was the first one I've ever felt like I've wrote in my life, and I've been proud of.
Yeah,
I
that song
really
we
like
were
that
so
song.
proud of it. We spent money on it. You can download it anywhere. You can go to Amazon or iTunes or wherever
Mm-hmm.
and download Hannibal is at the Gate by Mind Like Me. Shameless plug. You're
Nothing wrong
welcome.
with that. We've been.
So-
The song is how old?
It's been out for over a year, hasn't it?
Over a year. And
Or
we
right
made,
about
like,
it. Right about
dollar-
a year. It's been right about a year. Yeah, like there's been 2 downloads.
made
Even friends lie to
$1.61.
us. Friends are like, "Yeah, I totally bought it." It's like, dude, I can see. I can see how many people
You
bought
know how
it.
many people told me?
Yeah.
Like, I bought
In truth,
that.
there's been like 1 or 2.
No, I think it's 2 because you get
Is
like
it
80
2?
cents a song or something.
Well,
We got $1.60.
Please buy it. Please buy the song. I mean, we're not going to break even for a long time, so it doesn't
No.
matter.
It's just funny.
But
And
it's that for me. It doesn't matter if I'm making music to. Definitely not doing it to please anybody else. I'm just doing it for me.
oh no, there is no grandiose. We're going to be rock stars or we're going to make a lot of money off it. It's just fun.
Right. Just
It's
like this
just-
radio show.
I realize now we might have sounded a little
Pretentious.
conceited or
Yeah.
pretentious. It's really is just funny when
Buy my book.
With-
Buy my book.
20 of your best friends say, "Yeah, I totally bought that, dude. It's
Yeah.
awesome." The bold-faced lied.
Probably stole it. But oh well, such is life. You can't expect anything from it. You just do it because you love it. So what do we
You
got
know another
next?
thing about Hannibal I was really proud of
What?
was the line, "Man lays with man, she prefers woman's touch."
Yeah.
Why does what they do matter so much? That's the reason when I say I'm proud of that song. That's the first thing I've ever wrote that I was like, this is my thoughts on paper. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because usually I'm like, what can I say that rhymes with that?
Yeah.
That just
Well, it just so
flowed.
happened that
Yeah.
whenever it flows out like that, and you actually get to say what you feel, and you're like, yeah.
That's what I mean by I was super proud of that one. Not like, oh God, this is going to push us over the top, or this is. I was just proud of that one.
Well,
'Cause
I like
it
the
was
other
my-
one. What was the line about God in that one? How's that one go?
Oh, Meat, Vein, and Bones?
No. In Hannibal.
Oh, church on Sunday morning, a bar on Friday night. God forbid you meet your maker and find out she's not white.
Yeah, the whole she's not white.
Yeah.
That, just even calling God a she and
That all I meant by that is you don't know.
right. Absolutely,
People-
nobody knows. There's so many people
There's
that
so many
take
people that like
things literally.
gay people. It's wrong. It's an abomination. I'm like, you don't know. You don't
And
know
God
what
is a man.
wants.
God is a man.
Yeah, God's a white guy. You,
How are
no,
you
he's
kidding me?
not.
Or it isn't. It's something bigger,
That's-
I think.
That's all that meant. That was, but that's what I meant by I was really proud of that one. The work we did, the guitar Brenda did was phenomenal, and of course the drums
Aw.
were phenomenal. But I was just that's the first thing I've ever wrote where I haven't like put it out there and been like, oh God, people are gonna think it's stupid.
Yeah.
That one just
That was one where I remember you were like, well, when are we going to do this? Because it's nice
Yeah.
when you do something and you get excited about it. Don't want to second guess yourself.
when you sit down and a song just pours out of you, it's an awesome feeling. I remember,
The Inception.
yeah, a good buddy of mine, Bobby Jones, rest in peace, was murdered July 2nd of last year. I found out the morning of July 3rd. Like I woke up and my buddy Roland, a DJ on the station, had texted me and told me. And I literally picked up a piece of paper and wrote the song out 5 minutes, just like we did Hannibal.
It just flows.
Yes, and I was like, it was almost like I didn't write that song.
Well, that's what
It's
a
like
lot
God
of
wrote that through me or
that's
something.
what a lot of songwriters say, that you become the channel and something comes through you and there it is. It's,
Not one bit of thought went into that song I wrote for Bobby. Like, now what can I say that would sound good there?
Right.
It was just, well, I wrote a song. So songs like that, you can't. It's almost like I can't even take credit for that. You know.
but you're gonna.
But I will.
So speaking of a song you'd written, the next one and the last one we're going to play for you tonight is one called "Or What." This is one I'm pretty proud of this one just
Me
because
too.
as each one went along, as each song that we did, we got a little bit better than the last, or at least I'd like to think so. This one turned out pretty good.
Or what? Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, this is another one we had mastered, so it sounds quote unquote professional. But this was something that you'd kind of demoed on GarageBand on your iPad,
Mm-hmm.
and we played it out live once, and it didn't really work because I mean, I think we just played that one riff over and over.
Oh yeah.
Because it's kind of a jammy song. It's hard to pull off with, two dudes and two acoustic guitars.
For there to be no thought in writing it, there was a lot of thought about recording.
Oh, yeah.
Because I remember us talking like, should we make more lyrics? And like, I like it the way we both agreed. We like it the way it is.
So, yeah,
Short to the point, then jams the rest of the time.
Yeah, but we don't want to get too jammy.
Because remember we talked about, let's go to an F here and go to a bridge.
Yeah.
And it was like,
Nah.
let's just ride out that C all the way to the Or was it a C?
Well, it's the groove, and a lot of times I think some of the songs we do try to record or write are not very chorus heavy. Like you hear something once,
That
twice,
has that
maybe
hook
3 or
part,
4
yeah.
times, and maybe that's enough. There's some songs you listen to and you'll hear that same chorus. It seems like the whole song for like
Yeah.
16 times you heard the chorus or something. But
I'm trying right now to write without rules. In the past, it's always been, it's only a minute and a half long. It needs,
yeah, verse,
needs to be
chorus,
good
verse,
3 minutes.
verse, chorus, verse,
Yeah.
bridge, chorus.
Now I'm just like, whatever feels natural is what's going to happen.
Yeah, it's highly doubtful the stuff we write will ever get on any kind of mainstream blah blah blah. And even if we were trying to do that, I don't think we could.
No.
I don't want to.
No, me either.
So this or what is
Or What was the
we
fun
had Jordan playing drums on this one as well.
And
We're
he
lucky
killed it
enough that
again.
yeah. And this was right up his alley, I think, too. That kind of jammy groove.
Yeah. He likes a lot of bands like Fish. And,
Fish.
Yeah, which are jam bands.
He likes more than just Fish.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That's the one I'm most familiar with that he likes.
I remember I was actually at the beach, wasn't I?
Yeah, you weren't here when
And
he
you told
recorded
me
that one.
like he was here an hour tops. Like he came in, heard it. And
This is
played
the
it.
first part. He plays the drums with
Yeah.
the snare off, and then the second part he comes in with the little snare build, and just grooves. I mean, he does some cool stuff. We'll have to maybe get him over one night if it's
Yeah.
possible. Have him talk about his little drumming techniques.
That song was inspired by Guns N' Roses, believe it or not.
Really, 'Cause
Yeah.
it sounds nothing at all like Guns N'
No.
Roses.
I was listening. I went through a phase. I'm bad about cycling through. Like right now, it's Van Morrison. I like Van Morrison, so I'll just listen to Van Morrison all the time for like a month. Then I'll go to, and that was during the Guns N' Roses cycle, and I heard the song "Coma" by
Yeah.
them, and he's just like, "I never even wanted to live." And I was like, and Axl's got that pit bull demeanor.
Right.
I don't care about crap about anything. And I was just like, I want to write something about not caring.
That's why I like the titles. Or what? Or what are you gonna do?
Yeah,
Or
what are you
what?
gonna do?
What
Nothing
you gonna
to
do?
lose, ready to leave.
Yeah.
And so it was inspired by Coma because when you think, I don't know if a lot of people's listened to that one because it was kind of like a B-side off
It's Use Your Illusion
one, but
the blue one.
it's a beautiful song.
Yeah, I love
if
both
people
those
listen to it
records.
and think, oh, he's wanting to kill himself, I think they're
Right.
missing the point.
It's just someone who's, at
Yeah,
their
just
wits'
like,
end.
Or what? If you think I really,
As Josh Homme says, the first breath you take after you give up
yep.
is, what are you gonna do?
It's like, or what says, what are you going to do? Ready to leave and all this? I ain't ready to leave.
Yeah.
It's just a metaphor. It's like sometimes you respect how other people's feels. And like, I've always wanted that bulldog mentality, but
Right.
I've never had it.
Well, for me, the musical part of it, I was listening to. That's when I was really getting on. I was on Chili Peppers kick, Red Hot Chili Peppers kick, and I had just gotten a 1963 Fender Jaguar
A pretty
guitar. So that is the only electric guitar you hear on this song. I mean, there's lots of different guitars and tracks, but that is the only guitar I used other than the acoustic guitar. It was a Martin.
Well, yeah, you
and-
got a new toy. You had to play with it.
Well, yeah, but usually I try to change it up, get
Yeah.
different tones and everything. But that song is nothing but Jaguar,
Jaguar.
Jaguar.
I got them moves like Jaguar.
Jaguar.
That was a fun song to do, though, man. It really was.
Yeah, it's real jammy. So
And that actually, the riff came from GarageBand.
now we're gonna have to pay GarageBand.
No, they can't. That's not stealing music off them.
Right,
Like, they put it on there, and it's like uncopyrighted. And
right. You're gonna cut that part out, right? Ain't you?
I can. It's like it never happened.
No one will know. So without further ado,
This is the last one we've got recorded so far.
yep, there's more on the way. Plenty more on the way. We can't go along without coming up with something else. So this is Mind Like Me with a song called Or What, which you can download on iTunes, Amazon, wherever you can buy music.
Buy our song. Buy our song. Buy our song.
What you gonna do, someone like me? Nothing to lose and ready to leave this world and all the bullshit behind. I ain't scared of you and I ain't afraid of dying. Someone like me, locked in the cell, no reason to leave this world and all the bullshit behind. I ain't scared of you and I ain't afraid of dying.
Welcome back to the Egg Timer Hour. I'm Brandon V, and with me as always is my good friend.
Sugar Dave.
You're supposed to say Garth. Wait, then I'm Wayne.
You're here on WP3W, which again stands for We Play What We Want. I think that's pretty self-explanatory.
That's right. It's No Restrictions Radio. Will play anything but jazz because only a-holes listen to jazz. Which isn't true.
Didn't you major in jazz or something?
Yeah, I did. So I've sent out friend request or page likes, trying to get page likes to people. So I've sent them to people at school, and so we're gonna have to play some jazz on here, some Coltrane or something.
So these are all like jazz-obsessed college buddies you?
Some of them. I
Yeah.
mean, they play jazz on the weekends, or
Jazz
they play
ain't no
jazz like
joke.
every night. No, it
I
ain't.
do not enjoy listening to jazz ever. The only time I ever did was when it was happened to be on the Cosby Show.
No, jazz is not something I put on. It's something it's like bluegrass for me. I'm never going to put on a bluegrass record, but I can appreciate it when I hear it. I mean, I know the people that play it are very talented,
if you're
extremely
a musician
talented.
and played guitar, I don't care if it's been 30 years, and you've never heard of or tried jazz, and you try it, you're going to have a hard time.
It's a very hard time. It's no joke. You got to know what you're doing.
Yes. That's why I don't touch this stuff.
So yeah, to the people out in Facebook land that I sent invites to, and you see that banner, it's just a joke. I know y'all got some sense of humor. I'm an a-hole, and I know a lot of a-holes. So if that, listening to jazz makes you an a-hole, we're all a-holes.
Not me. That just shut your little theory all to hell. I don't listen to that.
Well, you're an a-hole.
What? So we just played Or What for them?
Yeah, that's been the last song we recorded and released with myself, David, and good friend Jordan Ware.
Yep. And we're
On
working
drums.
on, we got
We have 2 in the
probably
works now.
5 or 6
And-
ready to go. I
yeah.
mean, ready to start recording.
Right. It's a slow process when there's 2 people writing, and one of those 2 people sets up all the microphones and to record it. And so, yeah, it's daunting, especially when you're doing the recording.
Well, especially when you work.
Right.
This is
We
got-
have day jobs. We don't
Yes.
just get to sit around and record all day, unfortunately.
I would
And we
like
always sit and wonder, it's like, what would it, like we'll see Green Day or Foo Fighters or whoever it is and be like, wouldn't it be cool if it was like that? But then you're comparing yourself to that.
Yep.
So it's,
Well, every time you like say, "Oh my God, I finished mixing the song," you'll send it to me.
and
I'll play it in
or
my
you'll
car.
be here and we'll take it out to the car and listen to it. And then let's compare it to this.
Play a Green Day song. See how different it sounds. Like, of course, it's gonna be different. They've got millions
Yeah.
of dollars of equipment.
They had a big budget. And
We've got a 2007 MacBook and
woo!
a $200 digiboard.
Absolutely. But it's for me, it's about production value because you hear
Oh,
so
yeah.
many people that do home recordings and you're like, oh, yeah, I guess that's good, but it doesn't sound like stuff you hear on the radio.
Yeah,
So, not that doesn't
I
make
think
it
it's
good,
knowledge
but
too. I remember. we
those
talked about
knowledge,
this-
experience is if you're going to do this and do it professionally, it's something you've done your whole life. You've
Mm-hmm.
you accumulated this gear because that's what you dedicate yourself to.
I remember there's.
That's
this
at least the
Ashland band.
reason why I have good guitars and equipment is because I've
Oh, yeah.
dedicated a whole lot of time to playing guitar.
I remember a local band years ago talking to Jimmy. They
Hmm.
said they just recorded on a computer and had a little inbox like we used to.
Mm-hmm.
It sounded phenomenal. I don't know how they pulled it off.
Yeah, must have really known what they were doing.
They had to.
For me, it's all trial and error. So click a button. If it's not working, click a different button.
Yeah,
Turn that knob. What's this button do?
that's
It's
my
a
job.
self-destruct button.
That's my job. I'm the one going, what's that? Well,
Was it?
will you turn my headphones up?
I
What?
couldn't hear
Well, How do I
nothing.
do that?
Where?
The one that says headphones?
That one? Turn that one.
Yeah. So there's definitely going to be a lot more. And of course, we recorded a lot with Greenlight, but that was all like we went and paid a studio.
Yeah, we paid for the studio
So all
time.
we had to do was show up, play.
But it's easier when if you're going to do that and you have a band where you could be in a room and play together.
Oh, yeah.
Because most of the time we'd be in different rooms when we played together. So that was kind of weird.
I thought we did it.
Well,
track
you'd
by
be in the
track.
drum sometimes. A lot of times we would start with like you would be in the drum room, Tyler would be in the control room with his bass, and I would be in the
Yeah.
ISO booth with the amp, and it's loud as hell.
It was basically a closet, wasn't it? That'd been converted.
Yeah,
I
I
remember
guess.
like opening the door and you being in there, and there was no room for you to turn around.
No, not really. I'm claustrophobic, but it's cool. You're in there with. It
Those were
sounds
fun
big.
days, dude.
They're
We
really
had so
fun.
much fun.
So the one of the first, I think it was the first thing we recorded.
Oh yeah. Are you talking about Diggy?
Diggy.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I went in and did the snare before you all did anything.
I thought we did that one all together.
We-
I thought that was,
Yeah, because
and like the only overdub was the guitar solo.
Yep,
And I think you and I went in the vocal booth and did,
the falsetto.
yeah, the falsetto or the vocal booth, the drum room, and that's a song that Tyler had written.
For you all that don't know, Tyler was the bass player in the band we were in, Greenlight.
Right,
He's
Greenlight.
a local boy here, one of our dearest friends.
It's no longer with us, unfortunately.
He passed in 2014.
Mm-hmm.
Seems like it was yesterday. It's crazy to think about. But yeah, well, you tell the story. He
Well,
was
he-
with you.
I can't remember if he came up with the bass line first. It started, I think, at the treehouse or something. We were getting ready to go out, drinking, of course. We liked to drink back then. And, just laughing and goofing around, he started singing that, gonna dig a hole, gonna hide it from grown-ups. And I think we stopped by my house, and I needed to get a shower, so it smelled good when we go out. And by the time I'd gotten out of the shower, he was singing that whole, he was just giggling. He was playing my guitar and giggling on the bed. Gonna hide it from grown-ups, gonna put it way down inside. And he came up with that whole thing. I think we sang it like all night long. And then that was about the time we decided we'd go in the studio and record some songs. I think that was the first thing we did.
It was.
and it's, I mean,
Because I
it's
remember
incredibly simple and easy, and everyone we'd ever play it for, they were like, well, aren't you going to make it longer? Because I think it's 30
that was
seconds.
perfect.
There's absolutely not. I know you want more of it, but sorry, that's all you got. It just, that's, when it feels a certain way, you just got to kind of leave it.
And I remember like coming up with the drum part there in the studio,
Right.
which I make it sound like it's pretty simple. I did the monthly again. But I remember just thinking like what would go good with that, and
Right.
did that, and it was very organic, very natural, happened pretty quick. The only thing is I do remember changing words, because I remember kind of arguing over the words. So he said something like, "Gonna dig a hole, gonna keep it from the grown-ups."
Oh, gonna hide it and
And
keep
we were
it.
like, you and me and the whole band, Wyatt,
Right.
everybody was like,
Well,
"Let's just say hi."
Wyatt wasn't there
I
yet.
don't know, he wasn't.
It was just us
So
three.
it was us three going, "No, you're gonna have, it's gotta be hide, not keep." That's the only thing I remember, but everything else was.
So that was fun. The record was recorded in Two Cat Studios.
Was it 9 Lives or 2 Cats?
No, it's Two Cat Studios, 9 Lives Records.
Yeah, okay, that's right.
It might have been called 9 Live Studios at one time or something. Or Darkwood, that's what it was called. It used to be
Yeah.
called Darkwood. So it was recorded at Two Cat Studios, and the record was released on 9 Lives Records.
That was
You can still download that one.
some of the best times of our lives was doing that stuff.
Yeah, it seemed like it was a long time, but you know, in retrospect, when you get a step back from it, it was just a small little thing. That's the thing about music. Whenever it's not meant to last. It never seems like all the whenever it's really good, it doesn't last. Not to say that we were really good. Who knows? I don't know. It was a fun time. So
It really was, man.
we were probably hammered whenever we recorded it too.
Oh yeah. Well, I've always been so self-conscious. I remember before I could like.
Gotta have some courage
I
juice.
had to have. Back then, I couldn't play music without drinking.
Right. Gotta have the courage juice.
And that was when we were playing. At one point, when it got real hectic, and we were playing like, we were a house band in Club 52, or we were a house band at Melinda's, or you know, it got to where we were just playing 4 times a week.
Right.
I was staying pretty lit, but it's an excuse. I'm not trying to make an excuse
Well, yeah.
to cop out, but I drink a lot.
Well, for
'cause-
me, I never had much stage fright as far as just playing guitar. If I was singing, that's just something different. But just playing guitar, it never bothered me. But for me, the drink, it was like it made me part of the pack.
Yeah. Well, for me, I remember like I'd be sober and I'd play, and I'd remember thinking while I'm playing, you're playing so much better than normal. But I was sober, and I kind of wasn't doing nothing. When I would drink, I'd dance around, jump, and I remember people kind of
Move
like,
around.
"Oh man, you're like a
Yeah,
Jack Sparrow." Someone said,
whatever.
Several people had told me like, "You remind me of Jack Sparrow," and so I thought like, I have to drink so I can perform better. Not even, it didn't have anything to do with music. Just
Yeah.
be cooler
It'll
looking.
definitely help you leave your inhibitions at the
Yeah.
door.
You don't care if you look like a fool when you're drinking, you know?
Right. Or lose your pants.
Yeah. But yeah, those were good times, and we it like Brandon said, it seemed like we recorded for ever, but looking back, it's probably pretty quick.
Maybe a year and a half
Yeah.
tops, going in and out.
Well, we recorded like what 16 songs total, but only 12 made it on the record,
Yeah, there's a few more.
and we had written even more.
Mm-hmm.
We're now and then we're still pretty notorious for coming up with a great idea for a song and then just being like,
Just leave
never
it.
touching it again.
Cause I get so self-conscious about a song especially that's why I don't write a lot of lyrics. I'm always like, this is stupid, that's dumb. Who cares about that?
I'm like that too, but then I'm like, F it.
And I'm trying to work more towards that.
Because at the end of the day, if you worry about what people think, your life's going to suck.
Mm-hmm.
I've got to a point I just care less.
Right.
Aside from my pants falling down and my dong falling out.
My dong falling out. It's like a thumb sticking out of a toupee.
Like a thumb sticking through a toupee. That's about the only thing that can embarrass me.
So, without further ado, once again,
Oh, we got to say our goodbyes.
well, let's play the song and then we'll say goodbye.
Oh, okay.
This is Egg Timer Hour. I'm not sure if we hit an hour yet. We might run over a little bit. Once again, this is WP3W. We play what we want, and we'll do what we want.
And this
We don't
is-
care.
No, we don't care. And this is Diggy. Rest in peace, Tyler.
Green light.
the grown-ups. Gonna put away down inside at the bottom of my soul, where they'll never know.
Once again, you just heard Greenlight with their song, our song that we wrote, called Diggy. Rest in peace, Tyler Preston. We love you, miss you. You've been listening to the Mind Like Me Egg Timer Hour, the maiden voyage of the first show.
Yes, woo! It's so good to be back on the radio.
We keep saying be back, and it's the first show, so that's kind
Well,
of confusing.
People don't understand we had the Egg Timer Hour on a different radio station.
That we're no longer affiliated with.
We're not affiliated with them, and it took us about, 2-3 months to get back on our feet and get on
Yeah.
start our own radio station.
We did 4 or 5 shows. And of course, whenever we're not trained to do radio speaking, none of this garbage. We're just,
You can be trained to do this?
I guess, you can go to college for radio.
Huh.
But
Well, that
if you
makes
do
sense.
that,
I've
it's
never
a,
done
hey, welcome back. This is the man in the can. People go to
Welcome
school
to
for
the Egg
that.
Timer Hour. Whoa!
Whoa, what was that? Let's get our weather report.
I guess that makes sense. You just never think about, I want to be a DJ and go to college to be a DJ.
Right.
I figured people just hit record and start talking.
Well, they should.
I assumed people just sold themselves, walked into a radio station
And threw this persona at him,
Yeah.
this wacky guy.
and they're like, I love this guy. We got to put him
He's
on air.
great.
I didn't think about, can I see your resume?
No, I think a lot of times the DJs start out doing like a midnight thing. Well, it's probably different now that everything's digital. Who knows how it
Yeah.
is? You might just pre-record your stuff
Do you
and
think
send it in.
FM radio is something that's going to go along the wayside before long?
I don't listen to it.
I don't either.
I don't listen to it very much at all.
Thanks
XM radio to me is kind of a joke because they overcharge you
Oh,
for
absolutely. I
just
love
to listen
XM
in your
radio,
car.
but it's $120 a year or
yeah.
something?
But I'm still listening to music on an iPod, so that's
Yeah.
so 2000 and late.
Well, see, I do everything on Spotify, which is sad.
But that's I'm getting back to where I want a physical copy of something. I don't just want a license to use
I
it
do
and
if it's a
download
band,
it.
if it's a band I love.
But a lot of times it's more convenient to just
Like if Guns N'
download a
Roses
record.
comes out with a new record, I will buy it so I can see the linear notes and all
Right.
that stuff. But or Rancid or my favorite bands. But otherwise, I'm like,
Eh.
I don't care.
So we can't tell you how happy we are that you tuned in with us tonight. This is kind of a weird show. We've never sat down and kind of talked about our songs like this. It's been kind of therapeutic.
It is fun. I would love to further down the road do this more often. Maybe not a whole show so people don't get bored, but
Right. We hope you haven't gotten bored. This is not what the next show will be like. We don't even know what the next show will be like. We might give you a playlist, more or less a glorified mixtape.
or we may just talk.
We might just talk. We might have someone else in here to talk with us and ask them to talk about the songs they like and play you some of those songs.
We can always talk. The movie It has been out for 2 weeks, and we've both seen it twice.
Yeah,
and I'd love to just
absolutely
go
love
into a
it,
big
so.
spiel about it. So there's never things to run out of.
You
talk
want your
about.
boat?
Get it.
Take it.
Yeah, take it. It's such a good movie. I highly recommend you see it.
Yes, it was awesome. I read something yesterday about the kid from Stranger Things,
Mhm.
the one that plays Richie.
Finn something. Yeah.
Yeah, they said he was dropping F-bombs all over the set while they were filming season 2 of Stranger
Really?
Things. This is the whole thing. I'm not making a wish in that fucking thing.
Yeah.
That's right. We do what we want. We drop F-bombs. But not.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah. You tell him, David.
Oh man.
You tell him what the F's up, sugar.
But yeah, we love being on the radio. Again, there's no financial gain whatsoever. We just like talking and hanging out and having a good time and playing music that we like.
And we hope you like.
We're still kind of debating on what we're going to do, the format of our shows. Because the reason being, we would like to find a way to archive the medium and maybe put it on YouTube or something so you could listen to it anytime.
Right. Meaning that if we had a show where we played other artists' material.
You can't do that.
Right.
because you have to get their written permission to put it in a podcast setting or
which we're not going to do.
no. So,
But we
but we
can-
start talking like if we just talk and play our stuff or like play our own instruments on air, whatever,
We can put it up
archive all we
anywhere
want
on
'cause
the-
it's
yeah.
ours.
It's all hers.
Because we could give ourselves written permission.
It's mine like me.
So we still don't know, and we'll probably do a mixture of everything. Some shows play music, we just won't archive it, but
We might even play live.
I would love to do that. You know what I would love to do? I would love to go see Rob McNerlin or Louis McNeil or some of those guys that I love watching play so much
Mm-hmm.
and going live. And
That'd be cool.
I would, if with their permission, of course. But
I
yeah,
don't think
there's-
they'd object. They're nice people.
the possibilities are endless. That's why radio is so cool.
Online radio, anyway.
Yeah,
Not FM.
that's true. We can do
But-
what we want. We're gonna take what we want.
I'm sure we're not the only radio station with that outlook either. But anyway.
But we got bigger dicks.
Huge. So big.
So screw 'em. We win.
Show 'em, David. Showtime.
I'll do it. I'll do it.
So once again, this is the Mind Like Me Egg Timer Hour. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. We will see you whenever we see you, when you hear me. Thanks for listening to me.
That made no sense to me. I'm still over here with us.
Because they won't see us. They'll hear us.
Okay. All right,
It
guys.
makes sense. Don't test me.
We had a good time. We'll see you later, right here on WP3W.
Bye.
Talk about stuff, important stuff. Mind like me's Egg Timer Hour.
Haha, we lied. We're back.
Because we do what we want. We aim to make a point to you.
We tricked you. We said good night, and then we came back.
We was all like, bye. And you was like, they're done. So now we're back to let you know we ain't done.
We still got another 45 minutes left of talking in it.
It's 45 minutes. No, we just want to share with you the last thing we like to do to close out the show.
The takeaway.
The takeaway. Bum, bum, bum.
Yeah, we like to end each show saying what you can take away from the show. What would you think-
Self-explanatory.
Yeah. What would you say it'd be?
The takeaway for this show?
I would think friendship. We've
Yeah.
had a lot of good times. Tyler, Wyatt, you, me, playing music for, what, 15 years now?
Has it been that long? I guess so.
Mm-hmm.
Right about.
Yeah. Don't take your friendships for granted.
Cherish the ones you got, because who knows how long you might have them.
Exactly.
You sound like Muttley again. He's crying, but he sounds like Muttley. Good night, folks.